Hey guys! So I will be talking to you all about harmonic dictation. Now, if you're anything like me, it probably wasn't your favorite thing that we were doing in Aural Skills when we first started because melodic dictation is a little bit easier. There's only the one part going on, but I promise it's not that bad. And today we're just going to work through what I do when I'm figuring out a harmonic dictation exercise. So far there have been two main types of harmonic dictation that we have really focused on, and that's SATB and piano. Now, of course, recently we've been working on duets also, but I'm going to focus on SATB and piano. So, in SATB, there are two parts in the treble clef and two parts in the bass clef. Now, this is different from piano because in the piano style, there are three parts in the treble clef and one part in the bass clef. And I'm assuming that unless piano is one of your main instruments, you probably prefer SATB because it is more evenly spread out throughout the clefs, so it's easier to tell the different parts from one another. So we're going to start with SATB, but first, before you do anything, figure out what key you're in, and before you even do your first listen through, write down the main chords in the key that you're in. I promise. Like, write them out letter by letter. It makes everything so much easier. So say that we're in the key of D major. Your one chord will be D, F sharp, and A. Your five chord will be A, C sharp, and E. Your minor second chord will be E, G, and B. Your minor sixth chord will be B, D, and F sharp, and then your major four chord will be G, B, and D. Really, this is how I write them all out. It really helps to see how they all connect. And I know that the 4 doesn't connect to the minor 6th, but the D connects to the D that you started with. So if you go through the chords in that order and you end with the same note that you started on, you know that you spelled out your chords correctly. So in SATB, I start with the first run through listening for the melody and the rhythm, so the soprano part. I at least try to get the shape along with the rhythm because it really helps to get the contour of the piece, and it helps you figure out the direction that the excerpt is going to go in. So the second run through, I go for the bass part. This is because it's like exactly the opposite of where the soprano is, and if you have the bass and the soprano, it creates a nice shell for the entire harmonic dictation that you're going through. The third run through, I tend to listen for the alto part. That is because I sing alto in choir though, so my ear drifts towards the alto part. But if you're a tenor, then maybe your ear drifts towards the tenor. And that's the thing about harmonic dictation. It's all about figuring out what works best for you. Another thing that I find really helpful is setting a goal for each listen through. So before you turn on the music to listen to it for each run through, set a goal for yourself. And if you don't make it, that's okay, but at least you have something that you're trying to accomplish so that it doesn't become so overwhelming. So after the alto clef, I will then do the tenor. The tenor is actually the hardest part for me to hear for some reason. It just gets lost within everything else. So by leaving it to be the last part that I am writing out, it makes it a lot simpler because it's basically just a matter of filling in the blanks. So, piano dictation. This is my personal favorite actually, but that's probably because I play piano. The first listen through when it comes to piano style, I will actually listen to the bass. This is because the bass is by itself in the bass clef, so it's really easy to pick it out from all the other parts. The second listen through, I will listen for the soprano and the rhythm. So just like in SATB, now you have your nice shell and you have an idea of where the chord is going to go. So since there are 3 parts in the treble clef when it comes to piano style, I will listen for the tenor part in the next run through. So the tenor part is easier to hear because it's going to be not necessarily the root, but it will be the lowest note in the 3-note chord that's happening in the treble clef. So it will be easier to tell the tenor part than the alto part. So then, just like with SATB, you have your soprano, you have your bass, you have your tenor line, and it's only a matter of listening through it for the last few times, even if it takes you a few times, to figure out what that alto part is. And it's just filling in the blanks and trying to figure out what you're missing. That's why this is really helpful, especially when it comes to piano. Because if you already have, let's say, a D, an F sharp, and an A, then most likely it's going to be a D that you're missing in the alto part because you want to double the root. So that is how I work through SATB and piano harmonic dictation. I hope it was helpful for you guys. If you didn't learn anything new, maybe it was a good refresher, or maybe it will be something nice to review with quickly when we come back to school in the fall. Now I'm going to share with you guys a quick song that I came up with that helps me remember the main chords that we should always spell out before we start our harmonic dictation exercise. Thanks, guys.
These 5 chords are the base of all music. We use them every day. These 5 chords are important to remember. They won't lead you astray. 1, 4, 5, 6, 2, a gift from me to you. 1, 4, 5, 6, 2, and that's how we make it through. I hope that helps you guys remember the chords that we use in harmonic dictation.